All right, and we're back. 3, 2, 1. We're back in the cavern. Welcome back, folks, to part 2 of the three of us. And Jerry's going to lead us off with his view on the Adam Azim fight.
Who lives in a fight like this?
Over to you, Jerry.
Right, so yeah, just to pick up where we left off on the Adam Zane fight. I thought all what Jamie was saying, I tend to agree. But no doubt he's young enough. He's probably going to he probably will end up with somebody else, Jamie. But in terms of the actual fight last night, um, obviously with Psycho Eyes and the death threats of Scooby, I was expecting some kind of initial roughhouse tactics from the American. And I have to say, the first round was like, are you gonna throw any punches? So that was hilarious. And basically that set the precedent for the rest of the fight. I thought Azim's jab was great. Um, he didn't really have to worry too much about what was coming back because there was very little coming back. But then from about the third round and then in the fourth round onwards, there was dirty stuff coming. It was actually Howard Foster was the ref for this fight, and well, I'll say
We all know about
okay,
him,
so
don't we?
he he picked out some dirty work, obviously coming from Scooby, but Scooby looked like he hadn't a clue. He hadn't a Scooby. He hadn't a Scooby. Um, he actually didn't. And I actually thought that was kind of hilarious because, well, you look like a complete twat whenever, you're giving it the big threatening act to begin with. But I mean, I thought that was a good matchup for Azim. They were in terms of record. Scooby had four more fights or something, I think, more than Azim. So it was good one to bring him along. And you know, Scopey definitely looked like a tough enough guy, but just didn't look like he had much idea on how to do something to, I guess, cause Azim trouble. Um, so I wouldn't give him a ton of credit for ring IQ or dimensions. He must be just because he Andy was saying before we started this video about the knockout record or the knockout ratio. So he must be a bit of a one-dimensional guy. Like I'll confess to not having seen him before, but I mean I thought that was a comfortable win for Azim. So um, onward for him, I guess, and good on Ian McGuigan, obviously doing his best with Azim.
It
Just
seemed to be full empty threats, Scobie, didn't he? So,
yeah,
yeah, I'm
just
going to do that. Did he haw, eh?
did absolutely nothing yet.
Yeah. The next fight we were going to talk about was Richard Riakporhe versus Tommy Welsh. You expected more of Tommy Welsh, you said, Jamie, didn't you?
Yeah, I think I've got a soft spot for him because I've been in the company of Scott Welsh a few times because he's in charge of the old wheelchair boxing, isn't he? The WBC cares, and I was involved in that. So I think
Yeah,
maybe my heart was ruling my head a little bit. When I've seen him fight on small horse before as well, when he give a good account of himself. Do you know what I mean? So. Yeah, I think again, my heart was ruling my head a little bit. He come in with the old Mike Tyson stripe in his hair, didn't he? And I thought, oh yeah, you know what I mean? He's gonna, he's gonna, he's gonna give it to Reactpour here, but all that sleeping with Madonna that Reactpour was doing a while ago, it just seems to have done him good, doesn't it?
well, you know what? That's what they always say about sleeping with the dead. It's going to invigorate you slightly.
Yeah. Um, Reactpour looked good. Reactpour looked good. I'd like to see him. I mean, I know obviously the opposition has a hand in that, and Welsh was quite poor. But, you know, you need the confidence builder, particularly when you're heading into the heavyweight division, and that the British side of things. I mean, he could sweep up Reactor because I don't really think I've never thought that much of Adelaide. Jamie Shakiva, not really, don't really think much of him either, to be honest. If Dave Allen's having another outing, Reactor should be able to stop him.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They were banging on again. Talksport. You know, I don't know why I watch them. I don't know why I give them time. They're very, very poor. But they were going on about it being a packed division at British level. It is packed, but it's packed with crap. Do you know what I mean? And it needs sweeping aside. And Reactor could like further his education and, you know, rack up the victories and get his confidence going by sweeping aside the crap. He could pick up a British title and hold himself in good stead. So that's what I'd be doing.
He's got Billy Nelson
don't bother
training him now, eh?
Oh, is he? Yeah, well, Billy Nelson's the greatest promoter in the world, isn't he? So,
Billy Nelson.
Yeah.
Well, he's eh?
That's your wife, Andy.
That's my wife. My what? Sorry.
Billy Nelson's your wife?
It's my wife now, Dave.
Yeah.
I like Billy Nelson. Some folk don't like him. They say he talks too much for a trainer, but he's also the manager as well to some of the fighters. So
yeah, exactly.
he's kind of the opposite from Ben Shalom, isn't he?
Yeah.
Opposite. He's quite happy.
Yeah.
Give it a couple of weeks and you'll start hearing stories about Reactor stopping Joshua in sparring and you know. Oh, he's fucking knocked out everyone. He's knocked out everyone. He's the man. He's a man.
Watch this space.
Yeah.
Nah, I like Billy. He's
do you have anything else to say about Reactor on there?
No, I thought he did well. He can only beat who's in front of you, can't you? So he ticked all the boxes. So we'll see where he goes from here. If next opposition's a bit stiffer.
Exactly.
I thought Welch kind of it sort of started out like he was going to try and assert some authority on the match, but he basically got careless. And then once he went down the first time, he did really quite recover, and he basically was like just like a sitting duck, really. And it was just a matter of time before Reactor kind of caught up with him. Certainly, one of the knockouts where like he punched him and he kind of like he looked like he was going to fly out of the ring at one point where he caught well. I thought that was quite exciting. It looked like somewhat of a computer game, but you know, I'd say Welsh could have maybe lasted a bit longer if he had been a little bit more clever. But I think he kind of went in there trying to be, assert his physical kind of dominance or whatever, and try to be, aggressive. But he left himself wide open, like, and he got clipped. And well, that's pretty much all that happened. Like, so I think for Reactor, he's 19-1. I mean, this is going to lead us on nicely to our next topic. He's 19-1. I mean, why would Moses Itauma not want to fight somebody like him? What do you think?
I don't know, like the way he hit Welsh went to the floor like a virgin touch for the very first time, didn't it? So maybe that sort of fight wouldn't be his lucky star, would it? Do you know what I mean?
What do you mean? Like, you think Moses Itauma would be swerving? Like, I mean.
No, I'm only joking. I just wanted to get the Madonna puns in, mate. That's
we all think like Moses should be doing the traditional route rather than this kind of just stick him in with Usyk now, all that type of nonsense. So,
I agree with that. I think the Jermaine Franklin fight's a good way to go, though. To be honest,
yeah, I like that fight.
I agree. But I mean,
you called it, Jerry. I think, didn't you?
Well, we were all talking about it, like, and it was definitely a name I mentioned, but I think that other guys mentioned it as well. But, well, actually, you know what? I've just looked at Reactor's age. Holy shit, he's 35. He's been late to the game. But the reason why I would they've obviously picked Franklin now for Moses Itauma, right? But, why were they not looking at people like Reactport? You know what I mean? Get him in Itauma in there with like Reactport or the other dude. What do you call the other dude who was like fought Wardley and stuff?
Adelaide,
His names went down my mind.
David Adelaide.
Adelaide,
Tequila.
get the ball in, guys, and sweep up and build him up, and then get him a European belt after he gets the British belt and Commonwealth, and stick him in contention that way. But like it seems to me now, anybody that's a name, they're just trying to well, could we not just leapfrog all this nonsense and stick you in right at the top? But I
Because they're
think
not thinking of the fighter, they're thinking of their pockets.
So
That's
what
all
are
the
we,
Mike Tyson thing was about. The record.
yeah. So what I was
Like-
saying, what's next for Moses Itauma after Jermaine Franklin?
well, the thing is, though, if you fight somebody like Franklin, though, Franklin, quite frankly, pun intended.
Frankly, Franklin.
Franklin, he's world level. I mean, in terms of who he's fought, so they'd probably not look at somebody like Reactor until he beats somebody kind of, world class in the top
Oh,
20.
he's a new Carlos Takam, isn't he?
Reactor?
No, not Reactor. Franklin.
Yeah, that means nothing though, because like Takam's done. But I get what you mean. Like, I get what you mean. I mean, he's a
Well,
good
that's why I said
test.
no. Yeah.
He's a good test for Itauma, right? Don't get me wrong. I'm just thinking, like, like if how does Reactor work himself into a fight with somebody like Itauma? Is what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean?
Sweep up, like you're saying there, Jerry, but knock people out viciously, get people talking. And yeah, he can clear up. Fraser Clark, I think, respect to him for even getting back in a ring after his face was caved in.
Yeah.
And I think if you show any sort of power towards him, I think the natural PTSD is going to come out, and I think he'll fold. But I mean, maybe I'm overstating it a bit because it was Tommy Walsh last night, and he didn't look great shakes. It was a bit like when Johnny Fisher knocked out Alan Babbage.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Alan Babbage give it the big one, and he'd come forward and all that, and it's like, yeah, see in a bit.
Where's the cabbage now?
Well, I don't know. He's probably a doorman in Croatia or something, isn't he?
That's
Babbage.
quite sad, isn't
Hmm.
it? That's life.
Yeah.
So, you guys think Itauma against Franklin then is a decent enough test for him?
Yeah, I like that fight. I think he's going to take him. I'll put my neck on the line and say he's going to take him at least 6 rounds.
I agree.
He's quite clever, Franklin. He knows how to survive. He knows how to move, and he's quite crafty, isn't he? He's pretty skillful, even though he's not that big and he's not that powerful, but he is very skillful, isn't he?
Yeah.
The size
slow the fight down.
smaller might be to his advantage.
Sorry?
Being smaller might be to his advantage.
Yeah,
so
because he's compact, isn't he? So
if he's slippery and awkward, Itauma's probably, be like, oh, what am I supposed to do with you? You know what I mean? So give him food for thought anyway. Somebody who's not going to get blasted out in maybe 3 rounds. If he takes him 6, I'd be happy because I just want to see more of what we're dealing with here because whenever Itauma fights, there's always these kind of weird murmurings about stuff that indicates that he's got some sort of a flaw that they know about, but they're going to try and shield him from. So I just want to know either way. So put him in with people that are going to give him rounds. There's tough guys out there. You'd have to say that Dempsey McKean was probably the highest level guy that he fought.
yeah,
But I think McKean got caught cold. But McKean, I definitely think McKean had the capability to probably take him some rounds as well. But he folded like a fucking deck chair. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah, but the thing is, Moses had to create that opening. Do you know what I mean? So you can people can criticize McKean for not being durable. At the end of the day, it was a pinpoint accuracy on the chin that caused that lack of durability. So fair play to him.
Not back of the head. That last one that finished them off.
Maybe. You know, I love
Anyway,
Moses.
I know you
James
You
don't
know, I
like
Frank,
love
me. No,
Moses.
but what I'm saying is, I think McKean would have lasted longer had he not have got caught. I mean, well, I was like, was that not the first round?
mm,
Can't even
Yeah.
remember
yeah,
now.
yeah,
It was
it was.
early on. I just think McKean would have actually given him rounds. Do you know what I'm saying? Um,
Do you think
but didn't work out that way.
Do you think Franklin's a bit like Buster Mathis Jr.?
Uh,
I think Franklin is like possibly. You may not agree with me here, but I think he fights slightly negatively, which will just make things a bit.
More awkward.
Um, yeah, basically.
yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
good because I want to see what Moses is gonna do. Like, you know what I mean? Basically,
Because you're
is
going to
what
see whether he's patient. You're going to see whether he can, keep his concentration and all those things he's going to need when he goes up
yeah,
to the highest level. Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
yeah, I'd agree with you there. Who's the Justice Hooney? That's who. If he gets through Franklin, stick him in with Hooney. Hooney's a good fighter as well.
Yeah, he's pretty
But Hooney's
skillful,
like
isn't
Yeah,
Hooney's a way better boxer than I actually thought. I
he?
yeah, big time.
I actually if Hooney hadn't got caught against Wardley, like he was winning that fight all day long.
Mm.
Um, so you could say that Hooney's perhaps vulnerable against maybe a big puncher, so that puts him vulnerable against Itauma. But
Mm,
what if Itauma is faced with, is Itauma going to be able to, exact the same kind of output on somebody like a Hooney who is a fantastic boxer, can move, he's on his toes. Actually, both of those guys, Itauma and Hooney, from the younger crop of guys at the minute, impress me, all because I've seen them on their toes, and I love that.
yeah.
So
The one thing I will say, actually, and you might agree with this, you might not. I think Itaoma's concentration is actually going to be pretty good because if you look at Ben Davison, the fighters that he's got, not Fraser, W. Wardley, Lee
yeah,
Wood, right? Both fighters who, in recent years, have had to pull it out of the bag when they're, behind or they've been seemingly struggling in fights. Now you have to stay switched on to make sure that you're taking advantage of them openings
yeah,
when you're losing round after round after round. And especially their speciality is pulling wins out of the bag when you're Ben Davison, which isn't the greatest thing in the world. But if you're around that sort of crop of fighters where it's like you've got to stay switched on for 36 minutes, it's going to rub off on Moses, So yeah, I do think whilst a negative fighter would be a great thing, I think he'll already have that attribute in the bag. So we'll just see whether he can take a fighter who's a bit defensive and whether he can knock him out. I think that'll be a big. No one's
yeah,
done it, have they? That's
Mm.
what
yeah.
I'll be looking for.
We want to see him sort of taking the distance. We kind of expect him to win, but we want to see somebody like, let's see what you've got. You know what I mean? What else have
Yeah.
you got? It's hard to tell with like knockouts in 2 and 3 rounds. Do you know what I mean? So
Mm.
we're all really eager to see what else is there. You know what I mean? We want to see what your long game is. Want to see how you do over like a period of rounds. Do you know what I mean? So
Can he
And
win?
real diamonds are created under pressure, aren't they? So you
Can
want
he,
to
can he
see that
win?
pressure.
Can he win rounds off a skillful technician who knows his way around the ring? And
Yeah.
yeah, over 10 rounds or something like that. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I'd still like to see him win a British title, though. I think that should be on his to-do list.
Yep.
I agree.
Do the traditional route, as I say.
I agree. But that seems to be like that. I don't know. If you're a name, it seems to be ah screwed and all that. We'll just try and like leapfrog you. I'm hitting this. It seems to be a pattern
Yeah,
now with stuff. It's like let's you can skip going past go on the Monopoly board and just get you the title shot. It really pisses me off. And what happened to working your way up? It's a good solid foundation doing that. Working your way up and gradual levels of opponents, and none of this kind of fast track them into this and fast track them into that, and then a lot of times, whenever some people are hyped up like that and they're fast tracked, and then the cards all come crumbling down because, well, you did the wrong thing. You know what I mean? So
They've not served their apprenticeship properly, have they?
absolutely, 100% correct.
Yeah,
That's just my opinion, though.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, he needs. You can't buy experience, and there's no shortcuts to success. So if he does it the proper way, it'll stand him better in the long term. And in the long term, I think so. And he'll probably last longer at top level if he does it the right way. But Frank Ward was.
Is he a bit like inexcusable?
Sorry, Jerry.
Do you think his inactivity has been a little bit inexcusable? I mean,
yeah, I think
he like knocking people out.
They could have had him out against other people. This so well, the December show is not happening. Surely Frank Warren's got enough heavyweights you could put him in with. It's just we've got all the heavyweights, so surely there's somebody you could be putting him in with, or finding somebody to put him in with. Because he's only 20, and he'll I'm guessing he's probably in the gym all the time. He should be ready to drop a hat to take a fight, 2 weeks' notice or whatever. So
get him in with that twat Tyson Fury. I mean, Fury's still ranked, isn't he, even though he's retired? Get him in with Lennox Lewis. He's retired as well. There's just so many dickheads about, and they're in boxing. And
yeah, the ring ratings are all the ratings are a bit questionable, aren't they, really?
They're shit.
That's what happens when you've got the GAD on the ratings board, apparently, isn't he? He's one of the GAD. He's on the ring ratings board. He is the ringmaster.
Yeah, he definitely is. The way that I know he'd love to beat a few people around the ring, like Lawrence Bowen of boxing. So yeah,
he takes a good pounding in the ring, I heard.
Yeah. He's so full of. He was terrible last night. I'll tell you what was funny. Like, this is the thing about the Dave Allen, right? They've obviously got an agenda, and it showed last night that they've got some sort of script, because at one point Adam Catterall, who disappoints me because he used to be for integrity and truth, right? At one point, Adam Catterall's like, "This what, mate?"
Until Frank Warren slapped him on the wrist.
Yeah, until Frank Warren had to go at him. Yeah, at one point last night, Adam Catterall's going, it was a great performance by Ben. It was absolutely fantastic. And what do you think, Dave? And Dave's like, well, it wasn't really a great performance, was it? Like, these two are just like, they're below average. Eubank shot and all that. And he's like, that's great. Let's go over to the GAD. And then the GAD's going, do you remember that? The GAD's going, yes, and I just want to talk about what a fantastic performance it was from Conor Benn. It's like, hang on a minute, you've just followed on from Dave Allen just slating it. Like, nobody's actually listening to what anybody's saying. You've obviously got a script where everyone goes, that's fantastic, that's fantastic, that's fantastic, and then just move on like subtly to. It's just pathetic.
You remember Mark and Lard on the radio years and years ago, Radio 1, and they had this character called Bernard Wrigley, the Bolton Bullfrog or something they called him. And that's what Dave Allen could have been, because every time they asked Bernard Wrigley, what do you think of that then, Bernard? And he said, well, I thought that what a load of fucking shit.
Yeah, that's basically what he was doing last night. At one point he apologised. He just went, I'm cold and I'm hungry, and I'm really sorry, I don't want Yeah, he said I'm cold and I'm hungry. Like, he was stood around in a hoodie. He said something like, I'm cold. He won't get another job.
He's just driving off around the corner,
every time that they were being just there going, one night shit, actually. I thought, fair play, but that's the problem with the media, though, isn't it? The media never tell the truth nowadays, whether it's news, sport, current affairs, like the stuff. I mean, I don't want to turn this into, rest in peace, Ricky Hatton, but some of the stuff when Ricky Hatton died, unfortunately, I knew the circumstances of Ricky Hatton's death before it came out in the media, and I've known a fair bit because of some of my friends, so I had a bit of not the inside story because that sounds a bit lechy, but and then I'm looking at like Facebook and just the crap people are posting, and I'm getting annoyed, and I'm reporting pages because of all the shit that's being churned out by the media. But that is like that was a man's death. But it's absolutely everything nowadays, isn't it? Like boxing's the worst for it. It's just Wild West. And oh, hang on a minute. Well, you've just seen a weight drained man get absolutely battered because he's weight drained, but we're going to tell you it's a fantastic performance. And if you don't agree, you're an absolute scumbag. It's like the Canelo thing. Sorry, I'm going off on a rant, lads.
No, you're all
Canelo and
right.
Crawford. Well, Canelo
Cap
and
on.
Crawford. Yeah, Canelo and Crawford a couple of weeks ago. I'm not really a man to go with the crowd, but I don't think it was an absolute. Yeah, Crawford won the fight. You might disagree with me, but I just sat there and I thought so many people would have been influenced by the commentary. I had Crawford winning that fight by 2 rounds. Whereas if you listen to the commentary, it's like, oh yeah, it was an absolute shutout. Like,
But you have to realize that the commentaries now, like this is a thing that I think boxing fans, certainly boxing fans like us, well, the commentary's all full of shit. So I know sometimes I watch fights. I watch those fights that we were chatting about earlier with no sound.
hmm,
A bit of music on the background.
When I watch it live, I don't. I will have the commentary on then, but sometimes I'm nearly sick on myself. Depending on what the broadcast is. If it was a TNT fucking broadcast or if it was the Zone. Sometimes what's great is if you find an out Polish stream and it's all in Polish and you're like, I don't know what the fuck you're saying, but I'm still getting the excitement from the guys' voices, which is good.
yeah.
But it doesn't sound biased and horrible and awful the same way the British commentary team seem to be.
I was so yeah.
Oh.
Sorry, Jerry.
I've probably said
you're right, mate. I mean,
I've probably said
Well,
this.
no, I was. Go on, sorry, Andy.
I've probably said this before, but in recent times, one that sticks in my head is the rematch between Josh Taylor and Jack Catterall. I thought, am I watching the same fight as I'm listening to here? And then it was all geared for Jack Catterall, and that's no me just being. I mean, I thought Jack Catterall won the first fight. I'm not trying to say Josh Taylor won both fights. It wasn't a good fight the first. I don't know. The second fight was a great fight, but I thought Taylor had edged it. But all the highlight clips in between the rounds, it was all Jack Catterall highlights. There was no Taylor highlights, and they were all pro Catterall. The commentary, and I'm like, they should be impartial. They should be ashamed of themselves the way they carry on. And Spencer Oliver, he's just like a shapeshifter, isn't he? He just unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
Spencer Oliver is a wee massive cunt. Where did he come from? Who gave that fucker a job?
Sky, because they felt guilty. That's why.
Disgusting media personality. So how do us as fans criticize or get our viewpoint across on the bias coverage that we are forced to watch? You know what I mean? There's no point of view anymore. You know what I mean? Like how do you criticize that? Because it doesn't look like it's going to change, lads.
No. I tried ringing into TalkSport last week.
Excuse me, please.
You did?
Yeah. I didn't get through. I was on hold for 10 minutes.
Did they go, that's that fun from Andy's cavern?
Yeah, pretty much. It's probably like, there's Jamie with his bad Nigel Benn impression. There's that geezer that makes fucking Madonna puns when we're talking about Richard Riakporhe. We're not. Don't let him in.
The annoying thing is, though, people will believe what they're saying. That's the annoying thing. They'll be influencing so many people.
That's mind control.
It is.
It is fucking mind control. Because not everybody is clued up. People watch it and be like, oh, I thought Tyson Fury beat Usyk. What are you smoking?
It's not just that. Like, we're talking about Conor Benn now. I don't want to give credit to certain individuals, and we know who we're talking about here, Jerry, right? But I do want somebody to just sit down and go, how did clomiphene get in your system? Certain individuals, right, that we don't engage with anymore. I've asked the question over and over again, and it's one of the truest things that could ever be spoken. Do you know what I mean? Like nobody. Why has nobody gone? Oh, you were cleared.
You know who should
Why
have
were you
that
cleared?
question?
What? Right?
Connor Frotch.
Yeah.
And
Whereas
he did ask it.
the last interview he did, which was I think it was about a week ago,
Pretty much sucked
he
it
was
off.
acting as if Conor Benn was the world champion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shameful, isn't it?
Sickening, mate.
Yeah. Yeah, it's embarrassing, really. And it's people you've held in high esteem in the past, and then, but they're tied in with the narrative as well, aren't they? They've at one time they would have said the complete opposite, and now they've just stepped into line with the rest of them, and it's quick march.
So basically, get yourself the Polish stream, and you won't have to watch any of that shit.
Won't have to listen to any. Top tip from Gerry.
Yeah.
Gerry's top tips.
Very top tip.
Get yourself a VPN, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a VPL.
No.
Actually, you know what? A Spanish stream, you can watch a Spanish stream or a Russian one because you won't fucking understand them unless you're multilingual.
I'll go for the Spanish one on Channel 9. Bono ostenti, mia pussycat.
Oh, fuck, did I kill the track there?
Scotchio.
Chris Waddle. Butros Gali.
Butros Gali.
Accidento bizarro. Trinco. Oh, I can't beat the old fast show.
How long's left?
How long we got left? 5 minutes. 5.
Oh, fuck. We're going to throw a 5 minutes, huh?
What do you want to talk about for 5 minutes? The fast
What's
show.
next for Moses Itauma?
What's next? After the next fight, it's next fight for Moses Itauma. How long can we ring out the Moses Itauma question? Answers on a postcard.
I have a good one for us. For the last 5 minutes. What do you think of this shit show with Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua?
I think it's just a case of whether Jake Paul can stay alive long enough. Because I really do believe I don't think there'll be any play acting with this because they're going on about a Tyson Fury fight, and Joshua want to look good. So I think Joshua, it doesn't matter who the opposition is, Joshua want to go in there and do what he did to Ngannou. So
first question: so do you not think that when Jake Paul fights any of these guys, there isn't a clause in it like you're not allowed to knock me down, you're not allowed to punch me too hard, blah blah blah? Because I do.
Yeah, I do, but
WWE.
Joshua's worth about 200 million already, so I don't really think that'll bother him.
Because he needs to do us a favor and just send that guy in the next week.
Well, yeah, this is what I'm saying, but it will do wonders for his brand if he can smash Jake Paul, because all the boxing lads, all the fans like us, they'll have him on side immediately. I will. I'll kiss his boots, mate. If he can knock Jake Paul out, it'll be fantastic. But it also means that there's a highlight reel before the Tyson Fury fight, and that's what the promoters want. They want a highlight reel knockout so they can go, oh, Joshua, Jake Paul's been in there with world champions, and Jake Paul, he's really been looking good and all of this, and this is how we can sell a Tyson Fury fight. Yeah.
Is Jake Paul though not like crazily is Jake Paul not more of a natural cruiserweight? I mean the disparity in weight and size is going to be crazy, is it not? No.
It's going to be about 3 stone difference anyway, isn't it?
Are they going to be giving Jake Paul loads of steroids before he starts the fight?
He's probably already on them, to be fair.
So who's going to sanction that though? I mean, imagine something.
British Boxing Board of Control.
Aye, they'll sanction it. Aye. Dying on the line. Sign on the line.
Apparently, there's going to be there's a rehydration clause. Joshua can't come in. Joshua can't come in any bigger than 160. So that's what I've heard.
You're gonna melt
Are
him
you
down.
fucking serious?
No, I'm not serious. Fucking hell, Jerry.
And he's not allowed to use a
He's
sauna.
died malnutrition.
If he uses a sauna, he's gonna get fined $1 million.
Yeah.
Stick him in the microwave. Dehydrate him for a bit.
Yes. I know it shouldn't be allowed anything like that, but money talks, eh? I mean, what were they talking, 60 or $70 million for Joshua? Tank Davis was going to be getting $40 million. It's crazy money.
I would have loved to have seen Tank Davis get smashed as well. It would be brilliant. But I hate Jake Paul so much.
He is just a. I've heard somebody this week saying, "Oh, he's actually a nice guy. It's just an act he puts on." But
I
nah.
couldn't give a fuck. Give all your money away and fucking fix countries that are in need of being fixed. If you're that fucking rich, that's my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pardon my French.
Pardon your Spanish.
My Spanish.
Anyway, lads, we're run out of time. So we'll have to say farewell for now. And till the next time, don't forget, like and subscribe to Andy's Cavern. And we'll see you guys all soon. Good night from me.
Good
night for you guys.
Good night from me.
Bye-bye.
Okay, guys, take care. Cheers and out. Till the next time.